Eager to start your own business and curious as to what the first steps you should take are? Well, in today's video, we're going to be discussing the first 5 steps you should take and consider when going into business. As a business lawyer, I know these 5 steps to be the most important steps you could take in starting your business. And in this video, I'll walk you through the financial importance of these steps, the logistical importance of these steps, and the entire big picture. For those of you that are new to the channel, please give this video a thumbs up and click on the subscribe button down below. We post content here on YouTube multiple times a week that is relevant to business owners and entrepreneurs just like yourself. Again, for those that are new to the channel, my name is Pamela Metani. I'm a business lawyer and the founder here at Graphene Business Law, a law firm offering business law services virtually and throughout Ontario, and working exclusively with business owners and entrepreneurs. Now, you're here to learn about the first few steps you can take when starting a business. Maybe you already have a business idea in mind, maybe you don't have that idea in mind. You're looking to starting a business as that next chapter for you in your professional and personal life. So, the very first thing you're going to want to think about when starting a business is ask yourself, at the end of the day, is the reason you're going into business, is that good or service that you're offering something that you are truly passionate about? I've heard it be sliced a million ways, the idea of what you should offer in your business. I've heard people say you should solve problems that affect everybody. I've heard people say you should solve problems that impact only the rich because they'll pay the best dollar for your issue. I've heard people say solve problems that affect only the poor because there are so many more poor people than wealthy people on this planet. However, at the end of the day, and by the way, there's a million more other ways to slice that product or service you should be offering and the ideas behind it. But at the end of the day, I insist that what you are offering by way of good or service be something that you are truly passionate about. Because in business, you're going to have really difficult times, financially, mentally, and otherwise. And at the end of the day, no matter who, if you're solving King Tut's problems, no matter whose problems you're solving, if you yourself don't care, on the days that business is down, it's going to be so much more difficult to motivate yourself to get up and go after that problem or opportunity you've identified, or whichever way you slice the logistic aspect of what you offer. Make sure what you offer is something you actually really care about as well. Tip 2, make sure that you start off your business as small as possible. The crucial must-haves of starting a business for liability reasons include being incorporated and saving yourself from personal liability and losing every single thing you own and love owing to personal liability. Other than that, and obviously having a name, but you can't incorporate without having a name, so that's all in one. Other than that, and a bank account, just a basic free leave it there bank account, there aren't really too many things that you must have when you start a business. You don't need a flashy website, you don't need a marketing department, you don't need merch, you don't need all of that, okay? You should start as small as possible because that allows you to upscale your business as you do better and better. However, if you start off really big or really over the top for no reason other than it's what you were duped into buying through social media ads, internet ads, all of that, well, then there's kind of only going to be one direction you go in terms of that business growth, and it's going to be down. Because having such an inflated beginning approach to your business, well, what's supporting all of that puffery, right? It's not possible unless you have some mega network or you're a celebrity or something like that to start off day one with strong sales, right? So follow the trajectory of your anticipated sales that are going to be non-existent, tiny, small, medium, small, medium. Follow that trajectory with how your business setup is as well, okay? In this channel, and I'll link it down below and I'll hyperlink it up above the video as I speak here as well, We've covered tons of topics when it comes to business costs and budgeting and cost planning and all of that, okay? Number 3, make sure you understand the financial implications of what your business genuinely entails. And this means everything from the starting a projected budget that you give yourself, projected costs that you anticipate dealing with, and the terrible messes you could get into in trying to navigate those costs, right? It might be intuitive perhaps to just open up lines of credit, business lines of credit, stack it all up, but it all comes at a major cost to you, and you should be well aware as to what that cost is, and the fact that always, from what I know, despite these being business loans and all of that, you will expose yourself to personal liabilities because the banks are not stupid. Your business can close down tomorrow. So then who pays your maxed out line of credit? Well, they're gonna want you to personally back it up. So be very aware of the financial responsibilities you undertake with your new business. And again, because this is such an important and make or break topic, I will link in the description box down below videos on how to budget for small business, the dangers of small business loans, projected costs in your small business, and all of that, okay? There is so much information out there. You really shouldn't expose yourself to amateur mistakes, but those mistakes can cost a lot. The 4th thing I'm going to talk about, and it kind of builds off the 2nd and 3rd tip we've talked about here. If, for example, the financials aren't your strength, well, the 4th tip is know that and know what your weaknesses are when you're going into business. It's one thing because there's different levels of operations to your business, if you will. It's one thing if your weakness is Google Ads, or if your weakness is gorgeous photography or, you know, sexy marketing. Okay, one topic, sure, you'll need it if you grow big enough. But it's another thing if your business is that you don't know a damn thing about the loans and the finances and you're not financially literate. If that's your weakness, I mean, to my knowledge, it's still free to book an appointment with bank advisors and talk about whatever you'd like to. The bank pays them so you don't have to. So make those appointments, educate yourself, watch resources such as this online, there's websites like Coursera. I'm not affiliated in any single way with them, but there's websites like Coursera that offer free courses that you can learn at your own pace on financial literacy, financial skills, basic accounting, all of that, if that's your weakness. If your weakness is, for example, marketing and PR, well, okay, you know, you'll need that to grow bigger, but it's not necessarily a prohibitive weakness to day one of business. Because what opportunity did you miss out on day one when the average business owner doesn't make $1 in their first day, right? But with the financials, you could be taking on these loans and exposing yourself to financial troubles well before you even launch your business. So that's what I mean. Know your weaknesses, evaluate to what level of urgency those weaknesses come with, and do something about them, whether it means going for help or consulting online resources, whatever the case, whatever the best learning fit would be for you. The 5th tip I'm going to give, and this is a bit like talking about divorce at the wedding, but the 5th thing is be realistic about what business ownership actually entails. Be realistic about the fact that by their 5th year in business, half of small businesses have not made it. Be realistic about the fact that by its 10th year in business, the average 75% of small businesses have not made it. The majority have failed, in other words, okay? Now, I'm not telling you to put your all into something knowing it'll crash, because it could do well, but that's where the realism comes in. Understand the bigger picture of what drives business trends, of what makes successful businesses, of why 75% of business people are failing. And I'm telling you now, a lot of that, not to beat a dead horse, but is owing to financial illiteracies and financial mistakes we've talked about. A lot of it is owing to step 2 we talked about in this video, which was start as small as possible. A lot of businesses start out with a lot of fanfare, but for what? Unsustainable fanfare. So understand the big picture, which is that most small businesses fail. And again, do something about it. If you care enough and you're going into business with a product you're passionate about enough, do something to make sure that you don't end up like those 75%, okay? And of course, you being here is a good start to that. You're educating yourself on how to start a successful business, okay? But I'll leave it at those for my top 5 tips. There's so many more things I could say, and I can make a longer list later, but none of them are as fundamental as these top 5 tips, right? And these are big picture tips. So I'm not talking here about walk 13 steps to the local bank, open a bank account. No, that's not, like, big picture, be financially literate. Like I said, I'll end the video there. If you think I've missed a mega step to starting your business, to how to start a small business, let me know in the comments down below. Obviously, it'll benefit everybody else that's watching the video and that's reading the comments. If you wish there was one of these steps that you'd gone through when you started your business, let me know what step that is, and maybe we can make another video about the importance of that step. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And other than that, you better not leave here without clicking like, clicking subscribe, and like I said, I'd love to see any comments or thoughts you guys have. Thank you so much for watching.